You ever seen an octopus change color? Like it's playing a video game. Like, suddenly, it's a disco ball in a midnight sky. It's not like it's trying to blend in or anything. It's like the octopus is just doing a whole color routine for no reason. You think you're weird? Try explaining to a squid why it's suddenly orange and purple at the same time. So, how does this magic trick happen? Well, it's not magic. It's biology, but with a side of drama. We're about to unlock the secret to the most beautiful, chaotic color change in the animal kingdom. Let's go. And not just disappear. They can change colors in like a blink. It's like they've got a rainbow cheat code built into their skin. And not just disappear. They can change colors in like a blink. It's like they've got a rainbow cheat code built into their skin. But wait, they're not just changing colors for fun. It's actually a super advanced way of communicating. Think of it like a secret handshake, but with light and mood. They're basically doing a whole vibe check with the world around them. So what's the deal with their skin? Well, they've got these special cells called chromatophores, which are like little color switches. You know how you can change your phone wallpaper? Well, they've got 1 million of these switches in their skin, and they can turn them on and off super fast. And it's not just about color, they can also change texture. Like, they can go from smooth to bumpy in a heartbeat. It's like a mood ring, but for a sea creature, and also way more impressive. So yeah, when we say octopuses change color, we're not just talking about a fancy party trick. We're talking about a whole new way of seeing the world, and maybe even a bit of a disguise. But let's be real, it's still kinda cool, right? You're not just watching a color change, you're witnessing a secret superhero power. Imagine if your skin could switch out this mid-ride on a roller coaster. Octopuses do that, and you're the one who gets to see it. Think of it like your favorite sock that never matches your outfit, but way cooler. Octopuses can go from a boring gray to a flashy rainbow in the blink of an eye, and it's totally intentional. This isn't just for show, it's a survival trick. Like a chameleon but with more drama, octopuses use color to blend in, scare off predators, or even flirt with potential mates. It's basically a color-themed dating app. And here's the kicker, they can do it in seconds. That's faster than your internet loading, faster than your fridge door closing, and way faster than your excuses for not doing your taxes. So next time you see a colorful octopus, don't just stare and admire the secret life of a creature that can outdo a mood ring, a chameleon, and your worst dating app all at once. You're witnessing evolution in action. And it's basically magic. Okay, let's rewind to the Cambrian explosion, like 500 million years ago. Those octopuses were basically the original chameleons, but with more tentacles and less patience for being boring. They had these chromatophores, like tiny color switches in their skin, and they could flick them on and off like a light bulb. Kind of like a mood ring, but way more dramatic. Oh wait, they weren't just changing colors for looks. They were basically doing a silent disco with their skin, trying to scare off predators or flirt with other octopuses. It's like a dating app, but in the ocean. Fast forward to the Cretaceous period, and octopuses were still hanging out, but now they had more brain power. They weren't just changing colors, they were changing colors to blend in, like a living camouflage suit. And now, in the 21st century, we've got these color-changing pros who can go from red to blue in the blink of an eye. It's like a superhero power, but they're just using their skin as a mood ring. So, octopuses are like little aliens with a rainbow crayon box. They can change color super fast, like a mood ring that's also a ninja. They use special skin cells called chromatophores, which are like tiny color switches that turn on and off in seconds. It's not just about looking cool, it's for camouflaging, hiding, or even communicating with other octopuses. They can go from blue to red in a blink, like a mood ring that's also a traffic light. In the end, it's all about being a master of disguise with skin that's basically a color-changing camera. Okay, so octopuses are like chameleons but with more drama. They have this special skin that's basically a mood ring for the ocean. But instead of just changing color when you touch it, they do it on command, like a superhero with a color switch. To pull off this color change, they need something called chromatophores. Think of them like tiny color balloons under their skin, ready to pop and show off. But instead of popping, They just expand and contract like a bunch of little party hats. These chromatophores are controlled by the octopus's nervous system, which is basically its brain sending messages to the skin like a walkie-talkie. But instead of saying, "Hey, I'm hungry," it's more like, "Hey, I'm trying to blend in or scare a predator." Now, here's the cool part. The octopus doesn't just change color, it can also change texture. Imagine if your skin could go from smooth to bumpy in seconds. That's what they do with something called papillae, which are like little skin buttons that pop up and down. So, the first step in this color changing magic is having all these skin gadgets ready to go. It's like having a whole rainbow of mood rings, party hats, and skin buttons just waiting for a command. And the octopus is the boss of all that. Okay, so the octopus has these special cells called chromatophores, which are like tiny color switches. They're packed into the skin like little colored marbles, and when the octopus wants to change color, it's basically flipping those switches on and off. But wait, how do those marbles even know when to flip? Well, the octopus has a nervous system that sends signals, kind of like a remote control. It's telling the chromatophores, "Hey, go from red to blue," or whatever you need to be. And here's the kicker. Those chromatophores aren't the only players. There are also cells called iridophores that act like mirrors, reflecting light to create iridescence. Think of them as the octopus's built-in disco ball. Oh, and don't forget the leucophores, which are like the white paint in a paint by number. They help blend the colors together and make the whole color change look smooth and natural, not like a crayon scribble. So in short, the octopus is basically a color-changing magician, using a mix of cells and nerves to switch colors in the blink of an eye. It's like if a chameleon had a hot dog for a brain. Okay, so they've got these chromatophores, but that's just the first step. Now, they need to actually make the color show. That's where the clever twist comes in. They use their own blood to help change color. Wait, how does blood help with color? Well, their blood is actually blue, but when they get stressed or excited, it changes to red, like a mood ring, but more squid. So when they want to go from red to blue, they just let their blood flow back to normal. It's like a mood ring, but with more tentacles and less glitter. But here's the real twist. They don't just use blood for color, they use it for communication. It's like a color-coded mood board, but with squishy tentacles. So yeah, changing color is like having a mood ring, but with more tentacles and less glitter, and way more squid intelligence. So here's the real secret. Octopuses have like 1,000,000 tiny muscles in their skin, more than you have in your whole body. It's like if your skin had a tiny army of contractors working 24/7 to repaint your face. The muscles control chromatophores, which are basically color blobs under the skin. Think of them like tiny color switches that turn on and off in a split second, like a disco ball with a mood. But wait, there's more. They also have iridophores, which are like reflective stickers under the skin. These can make them look shiny or metallic, like a superhero suit made of mirrors. And finally, there's the skin itself, which is like a blank canvas. It can change texture too, like a chameleon, but with a better Instagram filter. So in total, it's a color control system so advanced it could probably beat your phone's camera at photo editing. But don't worry, it's all done with just a bunch of muscles and a little bit of pigment. So imagine you're a chameleon, but instead of just changing colors, you're also a mood ring and a disco ball all at once. Or basically a color party that only happens in the ocean. Your skin is like a canvas and your chromatophores are the paint. But instead of a brush, you have a whole army of tiny color bombs ready to go off in an instant. It's like if your skin was mood ring that could also do a light show and had a remote control for the color settings. But the remote is in your brain and it's on autopilot. Quick word from our sponsor. If this sounds like something you'd enjoy, take a look at the Apple AirPods 2nd generation. There's a link and a QR code on screen right now, and in the description below. Alright, back to it. And if you think that's wild, just remember, you're not a chameleon, you're an octopus. And octopuses don't do mild color changes. They do full-on color changes, like a disco ball in a thunderstorm. So yeah, you're basically a color ninja, but instead of a mask, you have a skin that's a mood ring, a light show, and a disco ball all in one. Total legend. So I'm sitting here thinking, how do they even do that? It's like they're using a color palette that's been stolen from a toddler's crayon box, and they're just randomly throwing colors at the wall. But somehow, it's not a mess, it's a masterpiece. The truth is, they're not just randomly changing colors. They're actually using a system that's way more advanced than a rainbow-themed mood ring. It's like they have a secret color code that only they can read. These color changes aren't just for show. They're sending messages, hiding from predators, or trying to impress a date. It's like a secret language that only the ocean understands. Or maybe it's just really good at camouflage. And here's the kicker. They're not even using pigments. They're using cells that can change color. Like, imagine if your skin could shift colors like a mood ring, but way cooler and way more useful. It's like they've got a whole team of color changing cells working together in perfect sync. No one told them they couldn't do this. They just did it. And it's beautiful, and weird, and totally real. So here's the first myth. Octopuses change color because they're trying to blend in with their surroundings. But let's be real, who's gonna look for an octopus in the ocean? No, they're doing it for communication, not camouflage. Think of it like a mood ring, but way cooler and with more squishy parts. They can change color in seconds, which is basically like having a disco ball in your skin and hitting play. But they don't need a disco ball, they have chromatophores. Chromatophores are like little color switches in their skin. They're not just changing colors, they're doing a full skin upgrade in seconds. So next time you see an octopus changing colors, don't assume it's hiding. It's probably sending a text to its squid friends, or just being extra. So here's another myth. Octopuses change color because they're trying to blend into their surroundings. But that's not how it works at all. They're not trying to hide, they're trying to communicate. Like a chameleon, but with more drama. Think of it like a mood ring. If the octopus is nervous, it turns pale. If it's happy, it goes bright red. If it's trying to impress a mate, it flashes rainbow colors. It's like a mood ring, but with more tentacles and less glitter. These color changes are controlled by something called chromatophores. They're like tiny, color-changing balloons under the skin. When the octopus wants to go from red to blue, it just lets the balloons deflate and inflate with different colors. So the next time you see an octopus, don't assume it's trying to hide. It's probably just having a conversation with the whole ocean. And if it's flashing rainbow colors, it's probably trying to say, hey, I'm really into you. You've probably seen it on your phone. That weird blob in your camera roll that looks like a squid wearing a filter. That's an octopus, and it's basically doing what it does best, changing color, like a digital mood ring that's also a magician. If you've ever been on a beach and seen a sea creature vanish into the sand, that's not a trick of the light. It's an octopus doing its stealth mode, like a ninja wearing a cloak made of invisible ink. If you've ever been on a beach and seen a sea creature vanish into the sand, that's not a trick of the light. It's an octopus doing its stealth mode, like a ninja wearing a cloak made of invisible ink. And if you've ever tried to take a selfie with a sea creature and it just melted into the background, that's an octopus doing its best impression of Ghost, but with more squish and less spooky. Okay, so imagine you're at a party, and someone walks in wearing a rainbow suit. Suddenly, they're wearing a black tuxedo. You're like, wait, did they just change clothes or did they teleport? That's basically what an octopus does when it changes color. It's not a slow fade, it's like a switch. 1 second you're seeing a bright red, next second you're looking at a deep blue. It's like a mood ring, but way cooler and with more options. And it all happens in a blink. You don't even notice the change unless you're looking right at it. So next time you see an octopus, don't assume it's just sitting there. It might be trying to blend in, or it might be trying to scare you. Either way, it's doing it in a way that makes you go, whoa. So, if you think that's fast, wait till you hear about the record holder. Some octopuses can change color in under a second. That's faster than a blink, faster than a text message, faster than your ex explaining why they ghosted you. It's like a ninja in a color suit, but with more squishiness. They can go from camo to Christmas lights in a blink of an eye, and it's all just for survival. Or maybe just for drama. Scientists say it's like a million tiny muscles working at the same time. Imagine if your skin had a million tiny switches and they all flicked at once. That's how they do it. But here's the kicker. They don't just change color, they change texture too. Some can go from smooth to bumpy in a flash. It's like a disco ball that's also a sponge. So next time you see an octopus, remember, it's not just a cool creature. It's a color-changing machine, a texture wizard, and a master of invisibility. Basically, the animal world's version of a Snapchat filter. So here's the thing. If the octopus messes up its color change, it's basically like trying to paint a sunset with a crayon and a blob of glitter. It's messy, it's loud, and the whole room gets confused. Imagine your favorite shirt suddenly deciding to turn into a disco ball. It's not pretty, it's not subtle, and it's definitely not what you wanted to happen. The other octopuses in the neighborhood probably think it's a fire alarm or a very confused squid. They're like, what is that thing? Is it a joke? Did it get hit by a laser? Show a doodle of a group of octopuses staring at the messed up one, with question marks and confused faces drawn in thick black outlines. In the worst case, the octopus might go full on not a squid, I'm a disco ball and end up looking like a rainbow spaghetti noodle with a face. But hey, even if it goes wrong, it's still kind of cool. It's like a color explosion that accidentally became a fashion statement. You can't blame the octopus for that. So yeah, octopuses are basically color-changing chameleons with a side of drama. But here's the catch, they don't always get it right. Sometimes they go full neon and look like they're trying too hard. You know how sometimes you try to match a shirt and it just doesn't work? That's the octopus version of that. They flash the wrong colors and suddenly they're the weirdo at the party. And here's the kicker. Even if they get the color right, they might still look like a weirdo. Because no one told them what the right color is. They just go with their gut, which is basically a squid's version of gut feelings. So yeah, octopuses are awesome at blending in, but sometimes they're just being themselves. And honestly, that's kinda cool. They don't need to be perfect, they just need to be octopuses. So, how did people even figure out octopuses change colors so fast? Well, they probably started by watching a bunch of octopuses in the ocean, like, really carefully. Then they realized, wait, maybe they're not just changing color, they're doing something with their skin. Like, maybe their skin is like a mood ring, but way cooler. Then they started using cameras, like, really fast cameras. Because if you try to film an octopus changing color with a normal camera, it looks like it's just melting. And then, boom. They saw these tiny cells in the skin called chromatophores, like little color balloons that can pop and inflate in the blink of an eye. So, basically, the octopus is like a living mood ring, but with a whole lot more drama and way less glitter. So, here's the weird edge case. What if an octopus is in a room full of other octopuses? They can't just blend in by changing color, because they're all the same color. So they have to get really weird. Like, changing colors in a way that's almost like a secret handshake. It's like if you had a bunch of people in a room and everyone wore the same outfit. You'd have to find a way to tell who's who. Maybe by doing a weird dance or making a funny face. Octopuses do something similar, but with color and patterns. Some octopuses can even change their skin texture to look like other octopuses, like a digital disguise. It's like if you could change your skin to match your friend's skin color, but with more squishy patterns. Quick word from our sponsor. If this sounds like something you'd enjoy, take a look at the Kindle Paperwhite e-reader. There's a link and a QR code on screen right now, and in the description below. Alright, back to it. The point is, octopuses aren't just changing color for camouflage. They're doing it for communication, identity, and even trick